What's up, trainers? Welcome back to PokePlay Lab_DBSHQ, the lab where elite Pokemon TCG strategy, next-level deck tech, and high-level gameplay come to life. Today, we're breaking down a brand new master deck build featuring Mega Lopunny EX and Slaking EX, and trust me, this combo is dangerous. The synergy? Deadly. The tempo? Suffocating. The pressure? Absolutely relentless. This isn't just another deck. This build controls the pace from turn 1, forcing your opponent on the defensive and never letting them breathe. So whether you're grinding ranked, dominating locals, or leveling up your competitive lineup, this is a deck you need to see. Quick shout out to the community. If you've got a YouTube channel, drop it in the comments. I'm always showing love and checking out what you're building. Make sure you check the community tab to vote in the latest poll, and hit the announcements playlist for tournament updates, raffles, and upcoming giveaways. And if you want to support the channel, the Cash App link is down below. Every bit helps keep the lab running and the content coming. Alright, trainers, lock in. It's time to take over the board and apply non-stop pressure. Alright, let's kick things off with 4 copies of Baniri. This is a basic normal type Pokemon with 70 HP, and it plays a solid role early in the game. It comes with 2 attacks. First, Run Around. For just 1 colorless energy, you can switch Baniri with one of your benched Pokemon, giving you some nice mobility and setup options. Then we've got Kick. For 2 colorless energy, it deals 20 damage, giving you a simple but reliable attack when needed. Now, Baniri does have a ×2 weakness to fighting-type Pokemon. So that's something you want to be careful around. And it has a retreat cost of 1 colorless energy, making it easy to cycle in and out when needed. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Lopunny, the evolved form of Baniri. This is a Stage 1 normal-type Pokemon with 110 HP, and it brings some solid pressure to the board. It has 2 attacks. First, Dashing Kick. For just 1 colorless energy, this attack deals 50 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. And remember, you don't apply weakness or resistance to benched Pokemon, making this perfect for sniping key targets and setting up knockouts. Then we've got Spiral Kick. For 2 colorless energy, it deals a clean 60 damage, giving you consistent mid-game pressure. Now, Lopunny does have a ×2 weakness to fighting-type Pokemon, so that's something you definitely want to watch out for in certain matchups. But with a retreat cost of just 1 colorless energy, it's super easy to move in and out of the active spot and keep your plays flexible. Next up, we've got the star of the deck, 4 copies of Mega Lopunny EX, the Mega Evolution of Lopunny. This is a normal-type powerhouse sitting at a massive 330 HP, making it incredibly tough to take down and perfect for applying constant pressure. Now let's talk attacks. First, Gale Thrust. For just 1 colorless energy, it deals 60 damage. But here's where it gets crazy. If this Pokemon moved from your bench to the active spot this turn, you're hitting for an additional 170 damage, bringing the total to 230. That's huge for just 1 energy and fits perfectly into a hit-and-switch playstyle. Then we've got Spiky Lopper, dealing 160 damage, and this attack isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So you're cutting straight through things like damage reduction, walls, or annoying abilities. Now, Mega Lopunny EX does have a ×2 weakness to fighting-type Pokemon, so that's something you definitely need to respect in certain matchups. But with a retreat cost of just 1 colorless energy, it's incredibly easy to pivot, reset, and keep the pressure on every single turn. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Slaking. This is a basic normal-type Pokemon with 60 HP, and it plays a simple but useful role in your setup. It has 1 attack. Take it easy. For just 1 colorless energy, you heal 60 damage from this Pokemon, giving it solid survivability early on. The trade-off is that during your next turn, it can't retreat, so you'll need to plan around that. Now, Slaking does have a ×2 weakness to fighting-type Pokemon, which is definitely something to watch in certain matchups. And it comes with a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy, a bit heavier, so you'll want to manage your switching options carefully to keep your momentum going. Next up, we're running 3 copies of Vigoroth, the evolution of Slaking. This is a Stage 1 normal-type Pokemon with 90 HP, acting as a solid bridge into your Slaking line. It has 1 attack, Slashing Claw, for 2 colorless energy, dealing a clean 50 damage. Nothing flashy, but it gets the job done while you set up your main attackers. Now, Vigoroth does have a ×2 weakness to fighting-type Pokemon, so that's something you'll want to keep in mind depending on the matchup. And with a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy, it's a bit on the heavier side, so managing your switching options is key to keeping your momentum going. Next up, we've got a true heavy hitter. 3 copies of Slaking EX, evolving from Vigoroth. This is a normal type powerhouse with a massive 340 HP, making it one of the bulkiest threats in the deck. Now, it comes with 1 ability and 1 attack, but both are impactful. First, the ability, Born to Slack. If your opponent has no Pokémon X or Pokémon V in play, this Pokémon can't attack. So this card really shines against higher powered decks, but it can be limited in lower power matchups. Then we've got the attack, Great Swing. For 2 colorless energy, it hits for a massive 280 damage. The downside? You do have to discard an energy from this Pokémon, so you'll need to manage your resources carefully. Now, Slaking EX does have a ×2 weakness to fighting-type Pokémon, which is definitely something to watch depending on the matchup. And with a retreat cost of 4 colorless energy, it's pretty heavy, so once it's in the active spot, you want to make sure you're getting maximum value or have a way to pivot out. Next up, we're running 3 copies of Dawn. Dawn lets us search our deck for a basic Pokémon, a Stage 1 Pokémon, and a Stage 2 Pokémon, reveal them, add them to our hand, and then shuffle the deck. And in this deck, that effect is absolutely perfect. With a single card, Dawn becomes a full evolution engine. We can grab Baniri, Lopunny, all at once, or on the other side of the deck, Slacketh, Vigoroth, and Slaking EX. That means instant setup, incredible consistency, and no guessing. Instead of hoping we draw the pieces we need, we're searching for them directly. That's why Dawn is such an important supporter in this deck. It fuels our evolution lines, speeds up our strategy, and helps get our main attackers online much faster. Next up, we've got 4 copies of Boss's Orders. This card lets you switch in one of your opponent's benched Pokémon into the active spot, which can be a total game changer. The key here is timing. Only play Boss's Orders when you know you can knock out the Pokémon right away. Whether it's to finish off a damaged threat or pick off a weaker target for a quick prize card, it's all about setting up that decisive play. That's why I run 4 copies. It can turn the game in your favor instantly. Use it wisely. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Wally's Compassion, a powerful recovery option for your Mega Pokémon. This card lets you heal all damage from one of your Mega Evolution Pokémon EX. Then, if you healed any damage this way, you'll return all energy attached to that Pokémon back to your hand. It's a great way to reset your main attacker, keep it in the game longer, and reuse your energy for your next big play. Next up, we're running 2 copies of Rare Candy, a must-have for speeding up your evolution line. This card lets you evolve one of your basic Pokémon directly into its Stage 2, skipping the Stage 1, as long as you have that Stage 2 in your hand. There are a couple of conditions: you can't use it on your first turn, and you can't use it on a basic Pokémon that was just played that turn. Still, this card is huge for getting your big hitters online faster and keeping your momentum strong. Next up, we're running 2 copies of Buddy Buddy Poffin, a great setup item for the early game. This card lets you search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokémon with 70 HP or less and put them straight onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. It's perfect for quickly building your board and getting your setup pieces in play right away. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Switch. This card lets you instantly swap your active Pokémon with one of your benched Pokémon, giving you full control over your positioning. And this is especially important in this deck. With cards like Slaking X having a heavy retreat cost of 4 energy, Switch becomes absolutely essential. It also gives you a way to get out of bad situations, whether a Pokémon is low on HP, stuck in the active spot, or you just want to reset and keep the pressure going. Next up, we're running 1 copy of Energy Recycler. This card lets you shuffle up to 5 energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck, giving you valuable resource recovery in longer games. It's a great utility card that helps you recycle your energy, making sure you don't run out and can keep applying pressure throughout the match. Next up, we're running 1 copy of Sacred Ash. This card lets you shuffle up to 5 Pokémon from your discard pile back into your deck, giving you valuable recovery throughout the game. It's a great way to recycle key Pokémon, especially after knockouts, so you can keep your strategy alive and maintain pressure. Next up, we're running 4 copies of Night Stretcher, and this card is a key part of our recovery engine. Night Stretcher lets you add either a Pokémon or a basic energy from your discard pile straight back into your hand, a simple effect, but extremely powerful in this deck. This gives you the ability to instantly rebuild your board, bringing back key Pokémon pieces right when you need them and keeping your momentum going. And if you're ever low on energy, you can grab a basic energy instead, but most of the time, you'll be prioritizing your Pokémon to stay set up and in control. Next, we have 1 copy of Prime Catcher. This card lets you switch one of your opponent's benched Pokémon into the active spot, and if you do, You also switch your active Pokémon with one from your bench. It's a powerful gust effect that gives you control over the board and helps you pick the right target at the right time. To round things out, we're running 12 energy cards, making sure our attackers stay fully powered and ready to swing every single turn. No downtime, just constant pressure from start to finish. And since this is a colorless, normal type deck, you've got flexibility with your energy choices. You can mix things up if you want and pick every color energy, even throw your opponent off and keep them guessing about what you're running. And that wraps up our master deck build featuring Mega Lopunny EX and Slaking EX, a deck built for fast evolutions, explosive damage, and non-stop pressure. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more high-level Pokémon TCG content, and drop a comment letting me know your favorite combo, or what deck you want to see next. A true trainer is always prepared. Stay ready, stay sharp, because a real trainer is never caught off guard. And remember, decks don't win games, prepared trainers do.